for Monday, April 20th, 2026. Roll call vote, please.
Roskowski.
Here.
Gustafson.
Here.
Stanaway.
Here.
Furia.
Here.
Anderson.
Here. All present. Stand for the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Move on for consent agenda, the minutes of the April 6, 2026 regular meeting, pages 1 through 9, receipts, bills, and payroll communications. Do I have a motion?
I so move we accept the consent agenda, the minutes of April 6, 2026 regular meeting, pages 1 through 9, receipts, bills, payroll, and communications.
Thank you. Do we have a support?
Support.
Thank you. Any other discussion?
Yes, I would so move to amend this motion to remove the bill from O'Reilly Auto Parts of Virginia in the amount of $451 from the consent agenda for separate consideration. The parts that were purchased there could have been purchased from Auto Value here in Mount Tenayre.
Seeing no support, we'll go back to our original motion and support. Roll call vote.
Roskowski.
No.
Gustafson.
Aye.
Stanaway.
Yes.
Furia.
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes. That passes. Public forum. You want to step up to the podium and state your name or?
I'm here for a report later on. Those who don't know me, Thomas Scher, 5730 Mineral Avenue in Old Mountain Iron. I'm here for a blight questionnaire. I don't know what the city of Mountain Iron's policy is on blight. I have a real serious issue with 3 or 4 residents of Mineral Avenue who won't take care of their homes, let garbage spill out on a daily basis, have garbage piled up to their windows in the tunes of dozens and dozens of garbage bags, abandoned vehicles in yards, abandoned boats in yards, vehicles that don't belong to them are parked in front and backyards. The community standards are ridiculous. They don't care. And we're left with, for instance, I'm left with 10, 12, 14% less property value in the last 5 years. And just last week, the bear again came through the alley like it does every spring and fall. These people have been living there all these years and they know the garbage is gonna be spilled. And I confronted the neighbor and asked him if he's gonna pick it up. And his response to me was, "It's not my responsibility." There was garbage bags in my yard, my neighbor's yard, which I watch over, and they were there for 3 days. That's just one of many, many, many examples. There are 2 abandoned houses with no power and no upkeep to these houses. And they've been sitting there with no grounds taken care of, garbage laying in their front yards, and junk radiators, fences falling in, windows broken out. So the list is long. I've got a complete list of addresses and people, and I went on the St. Louis County website and find out who's tax delinquent and so on and so on and so forth. It's all beside the point. What is the city's blight issue? This morning I came in and I formally filed a blight against the house at 5700 Mineral Avenue, which is the Habitat for Humanity house, which I've called complaints on and neighbors have called complaints on continually. And the clerk gave me a legal pad to write down my complaint. We don't have a formal form, and we could simply sit down and say, what is this? You know, I mean, we don't have something that people can come forward. I mean, do we have any community standards at all? And this is something I need to address for you, Brian, because my property value's dropped. And I don't know what to do next after this. I don't want to be calling the cops for everything in the world. They're overloaded the way they are. This is nuisance stuff, but this house is the second most important thing I've ever bought in my life, and its property value is dropping. How many of your guys' property values have gone down? You know, this is what it is. It's systemic, it's ongoing. It's been going on for more than 5 years. We even have a burn house. I have a second piece of property in Parkville where I had my race car shop for years. House burned down 5 years ago. The debris is still there. 5 years. You know, this is an ongoing, this is ridiculous. This is beyond blight. This is incompetence at the highest level. You know, where are my rights as a property owner? Where I can try to maintain at least my property and have to fight with my neighbors. I've got a neighbor to the south of me who doesn't live there, doesn't pay taxes, and he's just freeloading off his girlfriend, parks his junk truck in the front yard, will not move it because he just doesn't like me. You know, and it just goes on and on and on, rather than getting into domestic problems and having to call the cops. I choose to ignore it, but I've gone far enough. I need to know what my rights are. Does the city have a formal blight policy? What are the requirements? What are the manifestations of it? Is it something we can, or any person can do? I think people are afraid to come here and stand in front of you and talk, really do. Their property values aren't doing better. The lady I talked to, the neighbor who lives next to the Habitat house, she gave me a big kudos. And I have pictures on my wallet, if you want, or my phone, if you want to see it. It's ugly. And it's a brand new house, and it's a shame. And I feel bad for these people. There obviously are cognitive deficient problems here, but you know, I've got to look out for my property as well. So this is what I'm asking. What is our blight policy? What can we do about it other than coming in here and scratching on a legal pad and saying, I don't like this person, or maybe he has a personal agenda against them, you know? Don't we have a formal policy? How far can we go? And does it have any enforcement? Does it have any teeth to it? You know?
Well, I'm gonna take and make a motion here, and then we can discuss this. I so move that Mountain Iron City Attorney Brian Lindsay contact Mountain Iron residents Tommy Scher as soon as possible at this number, 218-780-1516, and discuss with Mr. Scher various remedies to solve the problem that he has brought forward at this April 20th, 2026 City Council meeting during this public forum. Attorney Lindsay will eventually update the city staff, council, Mr. Scher, on progress that's being made. So that's the motion to get started with this. He's right. This has been going on for years and nothing seems to get done. So that's why I made this motion.
I'll
Thank you.
support for discussion.
Mr. Wayne, we have a policy, correct? And there's certain protocol we have to follow to go through with it. Could you just explain a little bit what we have to do?
Well, first we have to receive a complaint, which he did file today.
Okay,
This house has been perpetually a problem over
Yep.
the years. I know I've dealt with them, and they've cleaned up sometimes. I know Sergeant Toma has, and they've cleaned up sometimes, but it just keeps happening over and over. So we just try to keep on them, and then if they don't clean it up in a timely fashion, we would go in there, hire a contractor to come and clean it up, and charge them for it. That's usually the procedure.
like put it on their utility bill perhaps, or just to
No.
get them to?
No,
Because
on
if
their
they're not paying,
taxes.
how you, yeah,
Yeah.
okay. So I know which one of them that you're talking about,
Yeah.
and it's just kind of blatant. that
Yep, it's
they don't-
perpetual.
Yeah, and I know you can go after them again and again and keep giving them tickets or whatever, but, yeah, that's pretty bad. Could we get something like a form where they can come in and, just like a standard blight form, and everything will be different, like someone's cars in the yard and someone's garbage, whatever, but maybe it could just be like a form that they could possibly add things if it's not on there. They won't have to write
Typically,
everything
we
out.
don't get a lot of people that come in with complaints. They either call or email them.
Okay,
And then what I do is I go look at it, make sure it meets the standards of blight. I take the pictures, write them a letter, they gotta get it cleaned up. So much time, if they don't, they're gonna be charged to have it cleaned up.
perfect,
And I think that's a process most cities use.
okay, sounds good.
Which is, I guess my point, before we start getting the attorney involved and the expenses through having to pay the attorney for this, that we deal with this in-house through, Mr. Wainio in the process that we already have set forth. Talking with Mr. Scher and trying to alleviate this problem. This isn't the first time these particular houses, and I don't know the addresses, but I can only guess
Yeah.
that they're the ones that
I do
I've
have
seen
them.
before.
5700 Mineral Avenue.
And I'm in the speaking here, Mr. Oskowski.
Okay, well, if you don't know the addresses, I have them.
That try to work with Mr. Wainio to try and see what we can do. The biggest problem is when you have a homeowner, a property owner that doesn't wanna do anything, and the only recourse is to bill them for it. And blight. That's the lousy part of it.
I understand, Ellen, and this is part of it that I wish to interject one more time, is there an enforcement to our blight policy? I mean, I'm not against the taxpayers paying for these people. These people are young and strong, and I believe there's cognitive issues here, okay? I'm not here to throw them under the bus for that. I'm here for, you can't pick up a garbage bag and put it in your garbage can.
Right.
My neighbor to the north has got abandoned fishing boats scattered all over his yard. He's got so much junk in his backyard, he can't park his car, so he leaves it out in the middle of the alley all winter, along with his garbage can that gets run over, and then so on. This goes on and on and on, and again, it's systemic. And you have abandoned houses that people do not take care of, never cut the grass. And I didn't bring up the school, because that's another disaster. Windows are broken in that thing, and taxpayers are gonna be ended up paying for the demolition of that. And I work for a school part-time, and what I've learned there is, it was $500,000 10 years ago to tear that down, and you know, this guy does not have power to it. He pays, the county's got it assessed at $30,000, he doesn't pay, the city's not getting any money off it whatsoever. You know he's gonna abandon it, you know he hasn't got a building permit for it, because he's gone inside and gutted the place. You know, nobody follows standards, and this is what I'm after, is do we have a community standard we can go by? You know, this is what it is. You wanna live in this town? It doesn't, it becomes catastrophic, and it builds on it, and it's like a disease, it just keeps on going. And one guy decides to park his truck in the front yard. Well, he's the nicest house in Mountain Iron's got a truck in the front yard and backyard, I'm gonna park mine there too. You know, and this is what goes on, you know.
And just so people know, I brought this up a while back, planning and zoning, and it was kinda like, see what my head is doing? They didn't really know what to do.
People are afraid to come here, Ed, and this is what it is. They don't want to rat on their neighbors. People don't want to come here. They are intimidated by this.
Well, maybe
But you get to
they
the
could
point
come-
you have to.
They
You get
could
to the point you
report it
have to.
anonymously also, but even if they come here, we just have to know, and maybe we could advertise it, like put it on the website if you have a blight issue, you know.
A nice form that just simply puts out, you make the check boxes. Is it abandoned vehicles parked in it? Is it just debris laying, garbage over the place? I mean, lawns don't have to be cut like a golf course. Sidewalks don't have to be shoveled to the 9th degree. Come on, people, we can just use common sense where we can simply keep our neighborhood up.
Right.
You know, my property values dropped so much, it's incredible, you know. And if these people are living next to, in Unity or in Grants Acres, and I had these people living there, there'd be all sorts of chaos being held. Nobody wants to put up with this, but this old town of Mountain Iron is really dying, property value wise, and it's just one of those things where if nobody comes in and says something, it's really gonna get a lot worse quick.
And the last thing we want is people scared to come in and speak. So
People are.
we wanna solve the issue and take the protocol that we have and go through it and,
Exactly, you can go online and get a form and just, well, this is what it is, and file it back, and you don't have to come in here. This is why people don't do this.
right, or even send an email, right?
Well,
Like
that's
we
why I
said.
made this motion. I don't know if we have a process that's clean or good enough, so he could research it and go,
Well,
you might have to, we might have to
health
make
and
a change.
safety.
Or maybe it's okay.
Well, we have health.
That's why I
health
made
and
this
safety
motion, so he can
committee that
research
takes
it.
care of that. He doesn't need to research it. We have it. We have the.
Oh, are you
statute.
sure we do?
Yes, yes.
Oh, well, why isn't it being done then? Well, I've been through this before.
Because you're
Mine,
dealing
where
with
I live in
people.
Ann's Acres,
When you're
where a
dealing
lady
with
had
people-
sleep apnea, yeah?
Keep talking over me. That
Yeah.
helps. When you're dealing
I had to go
with
to the
people
courthouse
like
for
this,
Christ's
you
sake
don't hear
over
it.
it.
Yep, keep talking. It's
Yeah.
not helping.
Yeah.
I understand, Julian, I appreciate this.
Yes,
I
we'll do
appreciate this.
whatever we can.
Enough.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we need something done, and I'm willing to sit down with the HOA committee, I'm willing to sit down with them. You know, I don't wanna throw these people under the bus, I really don't. They're my neighbors. There's a lot of hard feelings right now going on, but there are things like, again, the house at 5706 has been abandoned for over a year and a half, totally abandoned. No power, grass up to the windows, junk radiators in the front yard, an abandoned garage. They had livestock in their backyard, chickens and ducks, and I made several complaints to the sheriff and to the Mountain Iron, nothing was done about it. The other neighbor finally stepped in and they finally got rid of them, and, you know, so on and so forth, but, you know, this is really, really bad. You know, there's a second abandoned house at 5688, and they don't have a building permit either, but they were working on it, and they quit, no power there, you know, I mean, abandoned houses should be part of this thing, you know, it's one thing to have a house that nobody lives in, but you have to have power, and you have to keep it up. That's all they're required to do. You don't have to be living in it, but it's have to have power, and we have to have a community standard, something. You know, that, and if you don't like it, go to another town. But,
Absolutely.
you know, this is,
Well, anyway, I made the motion, so, and it was supported for discussion, so.
thank you, Ed.
Thank you. Any other public forum?
Sure.
Oh, what are you gonna do with this motion?
Oh, yeah, we have to,
I supported it for discussion, but the discussion happened on its own. And
Correct.
Mr. Scher, thank you for coming in and addressing those concerns. Are you okay with the path that has been laid out?
Yes, it sounds real good. I can talk to Brian, and my phone may not pick up. I don't have your personal phone number. I've got a block on unknown phone numbers, so leave a message. I'll call you right back.
Okay. Well,
I'll get you my card before you go.
I'll stop there right now. Thank you.
thanks, Tom.
Thank you, guys.
Motion is still on the floor.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
No.
No,
no,
Oh, that's great. If he has to go someplace with it, now what?
He's okay with the plan that we've laid out.
Yeah, so, okay, we'll see. Like I said, in the past, I've been part of
We'll
this.
go on to committee and staff report.
Nope.
We've got
Oh, it's
another.
me.
yeah,
Perfect.
come on now.
Hi.
I thought you decided not to. Stood up once before.
Mayor, council members, distinguished members, appreciate you letting me come in today. My name is Timothy Mattson, or Tim Mattson. I'm a Mountain Iron alumni from way back in the day. So if we're streaming at home, friends and neighbors also, I'm honored to announce to you my candidacy for St. Louis County Commissioner for District 6. As a United States Navy veteran who served in Desert Shield and Desert Storm, with over 30 years of dedicated service to the VFW as the post commander and now the quartermaster, I bring a lifetime of commitment to service, accountability, and teamwork. I'm running to represent the hardworking people who make this district thrive. That would be our farmers, the loggers, law enforcement officers, first responders, steel workers, which I am, and of course our veterans, along with each and every family member, small business that calls District 6 their home. I understand the challenges that we face with infrastructure, public safety, responsible budgeting, tax control, and most of all, transparency. These issues demand steady, common sense leadership, and as a homeowner in this district, I share your concerns and the experiences. So let me be clear, I make no promise except to work tirelessly for you each and every day. This campaign, of course, is not about me, but it's what I can do for you. I'm ready to listen, I'm ready to work, I'm ready to serve this community that has given me so much. I thank you for your support as we begin this journey together. And I'd also like to announce that I'm having a meet and greet on Saturday at the Sawmill from 4 to 7. If you'd like to come and talk to me and get to know a little bit more about what I can do and how I can help and how I can help you most of all. I would appreciate you stopping by. All right, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll go on to committee and staff reports. Mayor's report. Thank you to the city workers for really jumping in on our early spring, sweeping up the sand and filling in. Good job. Go on to city administrator's report.
Madam Mayor, we're requesting authorization to advertise for summer workers, which would include Parks and Rec, Public Works, and the library. It's an annual thing that we do to help with maintenance and grass cutting and all those kind of fun activities that hopefully we'll get to soon.
Okay. Also move that the city of Mount Iron advertise for summer workers in the Mesabi Tribune and the Hometown Focus with the categories of people that we're looking for.
I'll support that.
Any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? 5-0. Go on to the Director of Public Works report, please.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, councilors. I have nothing formal other than just to fill you in on some of the things. We're obviously in pretty limited staff now, so just getting our routine things sometimes can be troublesome, but we have been working at the campground. That's just right around the corner, doing quite a few projects out there. We are sweeping. We had a little maintenance day on that today, but we did get a pretty good jump on sweeping and patching on our streets. So, yeah, if your neighborhood hasn't been attended to, it's on the schedule, and we're working our way through town. We also been working with Alan and a couple of the projects that he could probably go over. And then on Thursday, we have a kickoff on the design of the wastewater treatment facility. So I'm open for any questions.
Thank you. Library Director's report, she's gone, but the report is on page 10. And we'll go on to the city engineer's report.
Thank you, Mayor. In the packets, the final pay request for Mesabi Bituminous on the Parkville Trail Interconnect. This payment amount would be $28,957.72, and I just want to point out that the working materials today is about $2,500 less than the original bid amount. So
Nice.
it's under budget by a little bit.
I'll move to approve, payment number 3 for the Parkville Trail Interconnect, to Mesabi Bituminous in the amount of $28,957.72.
All support.
Thank you. Any other discussion?
Yes, I have a comment here. Going way back, when this first started, this project, the Parkville Trail Extension, no residents on Nichols Avenue, County 109, wanted the Parkville Trail Extension in their front places. When the project was done anyway, many front yard areas were full of debris, and some still are. Part of that project, a sidewalk was requested on the west side of Nichols Avenue, County 109, between the Green Tree Apartments complex and the shortstop. That was never done. Because residents' concerns were not taken care of, I will be voting no like I did originally several years ago.
Any other discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Roskowski,
No.
Gustafson,
Aye.
Stanley,
Yes.
Maria.
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes.
Okay, I have a comment for the engineer and anybody else who wants to listen here. Okay, this has to do with the South Grove Recreation Complex for the engineer and for all of us sitting here. What does US Steel do with the garages and buildings they purchase in Parkville? They do their best to sell them to private individuals who have them moved. Several are around here in Mountain Iron, and I know where they are. The city should do the same with the South Grove Recreation Complex, 2 extra buildings we're gonna have. Put them up for bids. The city might get anywhere from $10,000 to $40,000 for them. That would be more profitable than tearing them down and hauling away as junk. The extra money would help cover the shortages we are going to experience on that project. So I want that out there. We should think about that. Thank you.
We'll go on to the city attorney's report.
Thank you, Mayor. No formal report, but I am happy to try and field questions if the council has any.
Okay, I have one. I think you read it already, but I'm gonna do it again because somebody is in very poor health condition because of his situation. I so move that Mountain Iron City Attorney Brian Lindsay, as soon as possible, contact Mountain Iron residents at 218-780-3331 or 218-780-3332 who have been seriously health affected by large amounts of smoke from outdoor waste wood burning at 8825 Highway 101. Attorney Lindsay will also contact the Minnesota Department of Natural Resources, the Minnesota Pollution Control Agency, and the Minnesota Department of Health and find out what are the rules, regulations pertaining to outdoor waste wood burning. Complete information and solutions for this health problem will be made available to the Mountain Iron staff and the city council as soon as possible. And this is not made up. There's one person that is in serious health condition because of this smoke and burning of this rotten waste material. So that's my motion.
We have a motion.
I'll support it just for discussion. Was it, Mr. Lindsay, was this something that you've already looked into and something that we can help?
So, it's a mixed question, so I haven't gotten through all of the phases of, what I saw in the minutes from the last meeting. Generally speaking, it's a bit difficult. There are a couple of avenues. Waste wood burning is something that's a little bit, there's some different ways to look at it. If it's general waste burning, it depends on what's being burnt as far as how legal or illegal it is. If you're burning wood, you've got to comply with burning restrictions and the local requirements. You know, permits are required at that time and all that. But then there's a whole separate issue that kind of goes outside of just what the specific requirements for burning are, and you get into issues of nuisance or public nuisance, which may create civil claims. And so that's something I don't want to get too deeply into here during the council meeting, but I am happy to kind of speak with the council members or the staff offline.
Well, that's part of the situation. It's not just nice wood. Some of it's getting old and rotten, and I'm not a scientist, but the person one of the people involved is a nurse, and they know about these things that can float around in the air, and if it gets in you, there it gets after your body, and there you go. So that's an issue out there too. It's not just nice wood, rotten wood, I've been told.
Councilor Maria?
Is this city business, or is this, I mean, if they have a permit to burn, they've got the green light to go, and then now we have, is it like a middleman thing, it's not our deal, or?
Generally speaking, just the nuisance claims, they're private claims that can be brought by individuals. Cities can maintain those claims in serious situations. Again, it goes, the issue may turn on specifically what's being burned. If there's certain types of chemicals in the wood, as Councilor Ruskowski has indicated there could be, I mean, that may make a difference, but that would go back to the legalities of the burn. It's difficult unless we know precisely what's there to do any sort of enforcement.
I was gonna kind of ask the same thing. So is this something that we should be doing, or is this something the homeowner should be pursuing legally?
Right.
Generally speaking, and I don't mean to
No.
put it off on homeowners, but generally speaking, where it's a localized issue like this, it can be something for a homeowner to do. If it becomes more widespread and becomes more of a public health concern generally within the community, then that's generally where the cities step in. I potentially could reach out and see what's being burned there just to make sure that it's lawful to burn the type of material that they're burning.
But is that our thing though? I mean, we don't wanna like put an expense on that if you've, I think they talked to DNR, didn't we?
Yes.
They talked, yeah, so it's, I mean, you've gone through multiple agencies already, and now we're gonna get in there and,
Well, but the people that are involved have been trying on their own, and it's like, they get nowhere. So we have to have somebody with a little bit more stature, a little bit more smarts.
You seem to be pretty specific about the wood that's being burned.
I've been told that's what's being burned.
You do not know that specifically.
Well, some of it I think is treated, some of it might be creosoted,
How-
like railroad
You
tie
don't know
material.
that specifically.
Oh, no, I don't know anything. The hell I don't.
So you've been on the property and see what he's
I
been
know
burning.
what's there. I haven't been on the property, but I'm street smart. Don't you think I taught this stuff for years? You know what happens if
We
you burn a
have-
piece of exterior
We
plywood?
have
Uh-huh.
a motion with support, and we've discussed it. Do have a vote?
You just call the vote.
No.
Oh, no.
no,
Yes. Okay, the people will find out.
One yes? Or no's?
Thank you for trying to take care, thank you for trying to take care of people in this community.
We'll go on to the sheriff's
Yeah.
department report, please.
Madam Mayor, councilors, nothing formal.
Thank you. Fire department report.
Thank you, Madam Mayor and Councilors. As you can see, we had a great turnout for our staff this last month. We averaged 33% of our roster showing up to every fire, which is a huge step up. I want to commend my fellow firefighters for doing that. And also, we did have a structure fire in City Limits, Mount Iron. We've been very fortunate the last few years. We have not had many. That one was contained to room and contents, which is wonderful. And I want to commend our fellow firefighters as well. From the moment we got our page to getting our boots on, everything else, to get into the hall, to get a truck started, to getting on scene was 9 minutes. That's beating what Virginia does as a full-time department sometimes. So I just want to commend my fellow firefighters for doing that. That's phenomenal. So.
Great.
Good job.
Okay, my standard motion, so it becomes part of the public record. I so move to show community appreciation that the paper fire department report that was handed out at the April 20th city council meeting be accepted as presented.
We have a motion, seeing no support, we'll go on.
Now, as I said, if I never made this motion, it would never be part of the public record that somebody came and gave us something. That's why I'm doing
We'll move on
it.
to our next item on the agenda, which is Parks and Recreation Board. The caretaker agreement, pages 14 to 15.
I'll move to approve the West Rivers caretaker agreement for Tiara and Ernie Akey for the 2026 season. It still says 25 on the agreement.
I'll support it.
Okay, for clarification now, what we have in front of us on page 14 has last year's contract. What are the specific dates for this year? I know it's 2026, but it's May, anybody know? See, this says May 8th, but I don't have a calendar here to,
It's May.
it's still May 8th of this year?
It's fishing opener.
Okay, and through September 14th?
I'm not for sure on September 14th. I just know it's.
Okay, he's going yes, so,
Yeah.
okay, it will be the same dates as 2025 for 2026. May 8th through September 14th. Thank you, staff.
From a lot of the opinions I've heard from our caretakers last year, they were very well pleased with the way they were handling things out there. So I'm glad to see they're gonna be back.
Yes, very much so. So we have a motion with support. We've had discussion. Any other discussion? We'll have a roll call vote.
Roskowski.
Yes.
Gustafson.
Aye.
Stanaway.
Yes.
Burga.
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes. Passes. Any liaison reports? Seeing none, we'll go, we don't have any unfinished business, we'll go on to new business. Page 16, resolution number 10-26.
I'll move to approve resolution number 10-26, decertifying tax increment financing redevelopment district number 1-16 of the city of Mount Iron.
Mr. Wing, which area is this?
This is the daycare over by Lake Country Power.
Iron Range Tykes. Iron Range Tykes.
Thank you. Support.
Thank you. Any other discussion?
I'll just put the microphone on. This is for Iron Range Tykes, and it's up there by Lake Country Power.
Any other
Go up there and take advantage.
discussion? Roll call vote.
Roskowski.
Yes.
Gustafson.
Aye.
Stanaway.
Yes.
Burga.
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes. On to communications, pages 17 through 20.
Let's do page 17 first. The Northern Tumblers, TNT. what does the rest of us think about, they're looking for a little contribution? Gymnastics,
They have levels, elite level, salute level, tumbling level.
yeah, page 18, the different levels, if we want to be involved. Charitable gambling, how much do we
I so
have?
move, we contribute to the gymnastics on the elite level for $250.
Charitable gambling funds?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll support that.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? 5-0, that passes. The next is the MIDPTA sponsorship invitation for track and field day.
Also move that we make a contribution of $500 to the Mount Airy Buell PTA for their track and field day, and this would come from our charitable gambling fund. And you can see the address on page 19.
I'll support that.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? 5-0, that passes. We go on, there is an announcement, which is the LGAE will be meeting April 30th at 5 p.m. That's the local board of appeals and equalization. For anyone who has questions or concerns about their taxes. Motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?